Thank you for staying with us. And of course, from our conversation on politics, we go to health. And this time, we're talking about cancer awareness.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to the conversations we have today because we're looking at fake cancer stories with a case study of Blessing CEO, Blessing Kuruka Okoro, who came out just on day one of announcing her cancer. She was already on stage 4, shaving hair, no chemo, no biopsy, no whatever. Nurses and doctors are asking her, how did they do it? Did they use a needle to press anywhere? He said, and she has raised money.
Over 100 million.
When you cry wolf, so how exactly are we going to be able to help people who indeed are suffering from this? So I'm looking forward to the insight from our guest and host today, of course, the CEO of Common Cancer Foundation, Dr. Dennis Ejo, who will be joined with our guest. Good morning, Doctor.
And over to you.
Good morning, ladies. We can't see you. It's very interesting. I like the way you introduced it. Very interesting. Hope you guys are good. Good morning, viewers. Welcome to another edition of our Rising Day. Welcome to another edition of Common Cancer Awareness with Dr. Dennis Ejo in partnership with AIT. I am Dr. Dennis Ejo. In the past few days, weeks, many Nigerians have followed the unfolding Blessing CEO saga. A story that stirred sympathy, raised questions, and has now left many feeling confused and betrayed. But today we must look beyond the headlines. Because while the nation debates one story, thousands of real cancer patients are quietly fighting for their lives, wondering if their own truth will now be doubted, their voices questioned, and their chances of survival diminished. This is not just about a scandal. This is about the cost of dishonesty and who pays the price. So, joining me this morning is someone who's very special to me, who understands this reality, not from headlines, but from lived experience and daily engagement with patients. My co-advocate, my one and only. My 9 years and you are 8 years and still running. So
9 years.
9 years, and mine is 10 years. Yes, and we're still running. And maybe we will educate Nigerians about this nonsense. Hello, Gloria. How are you?
I'm fine. Hello, Dr. Dennis.
Very fine. With this, you're bold. You're fine. Thank you for agreeing to come on board, so that Nigerians can know that we still get swag with our board.
Yes, so.
How are you?
Thank you so much for that introduction. I'm so happy to be here. How are you doing?
I'll introduce you properly now.
Okay.
Gloria, who is the Vice President of the NEPC, Network of People Impacted by Cancer in Nigeria, and the President of the Gloria Foundation. Gloria, I really love you. Thank you very much. And let's start this conversation so that we can use our time very well. So, Gloria, in light of this recent Blessing CEO controversy, which to those out there not knowing, both Gloria and I are actually people living with cancer. Gloria is 9 years running and I am 10 years running. Where a false cancer claim drew massive public attention and sympathy, what is the immediate emotional impact on real patients who are genuinely battling this cancer or watching? Or rather, can you explain to the world what our real emotional impacts are, especially as we battle this disease and then watch such nonsense blow out in... I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say, how to describe it. Go on.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dennis. I'm really happy to speak on this topic because I followed this conversation from day one. I was so keen. Like you asked, the emotional impact on cancer patients is quite profound. If you are having a bad day and you go to the internet and see a Blessing CEO crying and shaving her hair, if you are having a good day, rather, you are likely to have a bad day for the rest of that day, because we always say that we would not wish cancer on even our enemies.
Yeah.
And so when you see somebody has cancer, you are scared that they are coming to go through what you're going through. Personally, I think I'm a handful for my family and friends going through cancer. So I don't want anyone I know again to be, sometimes honestly, I feel like a burden to people. And I don't want someone that I know to be going through that phase to have anything to do with cancer. So when I hear someone has just even a lump, I panic, I become anxious, I become worried for them until they say, oh, it's clear, and then I'm happy. Or they say, oh, it's cancer, and then I move to the next phase where I prepare to guide them on the journey. And that is how it happens to many patients. So I can tell that many patients said in the comments, some of them were crying. They said, oh, this is very bad. We don't want this to happen to Blessings. Patients cried. People went into actual panic attacks. It reminded some patients, of the trauma of their own diagnosis. Coming online to say that kind of thing, you're likely to remember the day you were also told and how it made you feel. So it's going to trigger traumatic experiences. It's going to launch you into fear, panic attacks, anxiety, which is not even good for a cancer patient, whether you're undergoing treatment or not. Stress, fear, anxiety are things we are advised to handle. And it's going to, for those of us that, for some people, it could even launch them into depression. You don't know the extent these kind of things can actually take people to. For those of us who seem to have the mental stamina to guide other people, after a while, you start asking yourself, how do I help? Yes, but that empathy is always the first thing it does to you. Then some kind of traumatic response, and then you might want to help if you have the strength to help. I personally sent her an open letter, even though I saw all the discrepancies in her story. I chose to believe that she was scared and confused from the diagnosis. I chose to believe that, even though I saw all the loopholes in the story. I sent her an open letter telling her, we are here. Be sure that this diagnosis is right, so you don't make mistakes. I left that small window of belief somewhere that she's telling the truth and she just needs to be guided. So it's quite an insult to every cancer patient, to our intelligence, to what we are going through with what she did. It's almost unforgivable. Let me use that word.
Yes, I agree with you. I think a lot of people do not realize the pain we go through. And for some of us, that have to come out and actually say that we have the disease in light of stigmatization, and somebody thinks it's a joke, was actually, cancer is already a very lonely journey. And I don't know. I really am trying to I've not been able to get my head around it, which is why I thought, you know what, let's just address this thing. Okay, so now, you mentioned something. Oh, no, we were introduced to something. We saw reports that significant funds were raised during this situation. My God. From your experience, how does this kind of alleged fraudulent fundraising affect public willingness to support real cancer patients who genuinely need help to survive? And I want us to think this, because you and I know, me and you, both of us are advocates. Both of us beg so try to find ways to raise funds for other cancer patients. And somebody did this when we are not even found to be worth raising money. We cancer patient advocates can't even raise money more than 500,000, 1 million. And we are the ones that are finding the money for the cancer patients directly. Yet the amount of over 100 million raised for somebody was lying. Just is my challenge. What happened?
Okay, I think because, first of all, I'll talk about the impacts on the cancer community, on the genuine cancer community. It's going to cause sympathy fatigue, where people start, it's going to tamper with the kind of sympathy. People get a lot of sympathy for having cancer, because nearly everyone I know has been impacted. A colleague, a brother, your mother, your father. So people have experienced cancer in different ways and have a lot of sympathy for cancer patients. And this is going to cause sympathy fatigue for them. It's going to reinforce the stigma on cancer patients. as well, because people are going to say, oh, they lie for these things. They exaggerate to seek attention. Some people still don't believe that a cancer patient can take a medication worth 2 million in a month. Some still struggle to believe that. Yes, when you tell them, they think you're exaggerating the amount so that you have money to buy shoe and hair. But sometimes that is the reality. So when these kind of things happen, it's going to reinforce that stigma that people exaggerate their cancer experiences for sympathy. It's going to put cancer patients under unhealthy scrutiny that might be dehumanizing, because people want to search you through and through to be sure you're not lying. You're going to be asked a lot of questions. Begging for support is already difficult. It's already dehumanizing in its own form. Then being passed through different kind of tests. You know, you may have to take off your clothes to, oh, look at the lump. You remove your, as a man was almost naked on Facebook about 2 months ago seeking for fun because he had anal cancer. He wanted people to see the anus that there is tumor, you know, because he wanted to be believed. So this kind of thing will just reinforce these problems already for us. And I think Blessing was able to raise that kind of money because of our kind of society. Nigerians are very empathetic. You know, we have a lot of empathy. We still have a lot of our humanity left. Honestly, for someone like Blessing to raise that money with her track record of lies and deceit, and people still felt so much pity for her to give her money, it shows we have our humanity intact. But it raises a question on who you actually support. We are still struggling with a system that has not learned philanthropy, long-term philanthropy, that people can dedicate their resources and time to a certain cause, like we see in the Western world, where people do that. In Nigeria, it's still struggling. Then the few that have this mindset to give are now being fooled and made fun of. Imagine her telling them she has to sell her wigs before she can refund their money. That is the height of her impunity. It's going to really, really impact the patients. But at the same time, for me as a person, I started questioning myself. Why was there a rush to quickly give her that money when I know so many patients in my radar that have been struggling for money for PET scan, which is about 1.4 million, and they've not raised it in the past 1 year. Some of them have died still begging that money with their bare chest on the internet, showing that they have no breast, with their bald head like my own, showing that I'm currently on chemo. But to raise money is a big challenge for us. People gave to her. I think it's because some of them want to be mentioned, and I'm not sure. Maybe she's an influencer. She's going to give them a shout out. Maybe because she's popular, they think, oh, she must be telling the truth. I'm not sure. I'm not very sure the reasons, but it's quite shocking to me that kind of money can be raised quickly. Meanwhile, people with genuine stories are languishing away and dying with their predicaments. It still baffles me. I still don't understand how we do our charity over here, honestly.
I'm not going to say anything. And then when trust is broken, the consequences are not online. They are in our own hospital beds, seeking help and can't find it. Anyway, let's keep going. Despite how serious this situation is, many people initially stayed silent or even supported the narrative. Why do you think society often reacts slowly in situations like this? Because I found it interesting, and when I started to read the comments, I got more and more angry because I was like, people are talking about me, forgetting that we all sit here. A lot of people don't even realize that I have cancer, you have cancer, you are bald, I'm not bald. There was a time I was. They don't realize that even our drugs are different. Like you said, 1 million, your own is more 1 million. Mine is more than 1 million. Mine is almost tens of millions, tens of thousands of pounds. And then somebody's playing cha-cha. I beg, let me just behave myself. So despite all of that, please answer my question. Did you get the question? Despite the situation, why do society react slowly? Why do they react slowly?
Okay. I think it's clear. It's because of the empathy we feel. Honestly, I like to believe that despite everything we've gone through, and despite our challenging terrain as a country, I want to believe that Nigerians have a lot of sympathy. And people were reacting slowly because they wanted to give her the benefit of doubt. I wanted, as a person, I knew that many people, when I sent her an open letter, many people said, Gloria, how can you believe Blessing? We know her track record. I said, yes, we're not going to judge her, completely by her past. What if she actually has cancer? And then we come out to, to drag her and say she's lying, and then tomorrow she really has cancer. It's going to taint our reputation as a person. It's going to show that we, as cancer patients, do not even have the required empathy that we ask for. So we were slow. People were slow because they wanted to be sure. They wanted to give her the benefit of doubt. They wanted to see that we don't react too quickly and get to regret it, which I think is a good thing.
I love you. I love it. Sorry, I've got you. I love you. I love your sense of empathy. I beg. I clap for you. I hail you. How? When the story get killed from the beginning, how did you get there? From the first sentence, from the shaving of the hair online. For goodness sake, they know say the thing they fall off. What's that? Came on television.
Yeah,
Was shaving our hair. Do they think that we don't like women? We don't like our hair? What's that? Don't say that. Don't say that.
When somebody gets this diagnosis, the confusion is profound.
I agree. But
it
they're
just
not telling you to save your hair now.
You 360, and she might just want to be, let me be ready for everything. Let me just start. What do? I don't know what to do. And in that panic, there might be some mistakes, which would have been corrected subsequently if she was telling the truth. So I wanted to give her that benefit of doubt until I was sure that she was lying. And I think that is what most Nigerians did. And honestly, I think it's a good thing.
No, I'm not saying it's not a good thing because I was quiet. We were quiet. A lot of cancer patients, apart from dragging her on the other side, in our communities, we expressed our concerns, right? We have to be honest. Yeah. We all talked about this, but we were waiting to see. Yeah? It was just sad. Anyway, it was just sad to watch how influencers jumped on it. But if cancer patients ask for the same thing, it's peanuts. That's the point. That was what really hurt. That if you and I go on there now, ask for money, we'll be seeing 100,000. Somebody that lied, now million, 100 million, 20 million, 15, 10 million. What's that? Meanwhile, we won't get the disease when we find for PET scan, like you rightly pointed out. This week alone now, is it not you that have one bill we have to pay? If we go and say now that, can we please have the money for Gloria's scans now? Somebody would think that, they're lying. It's not nice now. Come on. Don't you have scans to pay for?
I do.
So let's call it as it is. We just found how many of our own that have PET scan to pay for now. Is it not small? We are begging the money to get the money for them. Why? And we are the patients having to beg for the money. Meanwhile, influencers will not come and help us. But they will help somebody that's telling lies. Let me just go to this question so that we can close nicely. Looking at everything that has come out of this case anyway. The confusion, the outrage, the investigations. Give me concrete steps, that must now be taken to protect genuine patients seriously and ensure credible cancer patient organizations. I'm focusing on patients because it's us that this thing pained are properly supported. No, I'm not saying the rest of the world weren't pained. They were pained. But for us, it was personal. It was like a personal thing to us. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Okay, so I think what I would expect is that she's arrested. Blessing is not the first person I've heard do this kind of thing. It's just that this one hits very close to home. I follow this crime series, and I know that it has been an ongoing thing in other parts of the world. But the remarkable thing is that those series I watch, most of them were arrested, we are locked up, and we are made to refund the monies they took from the public. And I don't see why that has not been done to this lady yet. People should be sanctioned. We have a sanctions problem. We have an accountability problem. People should be accountable for the wrongs they do to society, to people, both physical and psychological and emotional harm should be punished. So I think she should be punished, and I'm really, really waiting for when I will see that she has been charged to court and she's behind bars and she's refunding every single money she took from people and even meant to do other forms of restitution. and that will deter other people from playing this kind of games. Now, for the cancer community, I want to call on people, well-meaning Nigerians. I know there are people that have this money, a lot of money. Some of them don't actually know how to get in touch with people that need it. I was once in the hospital, and the man came into the hospital and said anyone that has been discharged but cannot pay their bills is going to pay for them. And right there before me, he cleared some people's bills, and people were so happy and they went home. In fact, I even got 50,000 naira, even though I was still on admission for lunch. So I know there are people that have deep pockets, that are quite generous, that are quite empathetic. This is a call to them that we have a community, genuine cancer patients, that will give you all the evidence you need, that you can verify from their doctors, that you can verify the hospital numbers. They have a history of treatments, of everything that they can show to you. Please send your help to genuine communities, where these cancer patients can be tracked, to genuine non-profit organizations that have track records of supporting patients, that can be traced also, that their work is out there speaking for them.
We
exist. In case you don't know, we exist, and you can always reach out to support, and be sure that your support will go where you want it to go and keep the right persons alive.
Thank you, my darling. Thank you, Gloria. We both agree this controversy is heavy. This conversation is a very heavy one, and we've had a lot of conversations on it, because cancer is not a story for you to use. It is a reality that we live with every single day. It is the mother who cannot afford her chemotherapy session. It's the father quietly selling his land to stay alive. It's the child who does not even understand why life suddenly feels different. So when dishonesty enters this space, it does more than take money. It takes trust, it takes dignity, and it places an even heavier burden on those of us already fighting for our lives. So to everyone watching us today has shown us things very clearly. Firstly, when dishonesty enters the cancer space, as we have seen with the Blessing CEO saga, it shakes trust. It makes people doubt, and the ones who suffer most are not online. They are the real cancer patients trying to survive. At the same time, it's deeply disappointing for me to have to mention that even the Nigerian National Commission for Refugee, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, and the Honorable Commissioner, has also allowed a commitment to cancer awareness remain unmet for over 2 years, with no clear plan of accountability or no urgency to pay to the services rendered to a cancer patient. This is not just about money. This is about value. This is about responsibility. This is about the lives behind the work. To everyone watching, before you donate, please pause and verify. Please encourage and support cancer patient organizations. We are the lived experience. Do not assume we are finished because we have cancer. Until God says this over, help us, please, to live. And please do not let our one false story blind you to the thousands of real ones, because we are here, still fighting, still hoping. And to you, Gloria, thank you for your voice and your work. And to our viewers, thank you for staying with us. I am Denise Ejo. Let us protect the truth. Let us protect patients. Gloria, I love you very much. And everyone, follow me on our social media handles, Common Cancer Foundation, and watch this again. You need to catch up. We love you all. We, the patients, we appreciate all of you that stood for us. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Indeed, help cancer patients and cancer survivors to live. Well, we're running out of time, so we bring you entertainment and lifestyle right now, and after that,